Hello, my friend. This is Clyde. And today I would like us to talk about unexpected blessings. Sometimes some big blessings come our way and we have no idea why. And we might probably feel that we don't deserve it, or probably we feel that we deserved it. But regardless, I'm going to be talking about an unexpected blessing. I base this on a story in 2 Samuel 9. King David had been on the throne for several years, and one day he got up and he asked, is there any relative from King Saul's family that I can show some kindness to that person, particularly for Jonathan's sake? Jonathan was the son of King Saul, the first king of Israel. David came from a peasant family. But you remember that David did something heroic. He killed Goliath, this giant who was a threat to the nation of Israel. And out of that, David and Jonathan became friends. Friendship between a prince and a peasant. Jonathan knew very well that his father hated David, was jealous of David, and his father wanted to kill David. And as his friend, several times Jonathan helped to save David's life. Jonathan was not threatened by David. Jonathan knew that David would become king one day, and he was quite okay with that. Well, as time went on, Saul and Jonathan were both killed in a war, and eventually David became the king of Israel. And so here we come now to our main story. And David one day inquired if there is any relative of Saul that he could show some kindness to them for Jonathan's sake. They found a servant from Saul's household, and the servant told him that yes, Jonathan had a son, and his son's name is Mephibosheth, and Mephibosheth is living in obscurity in some little village called Lodibar. But by the way, king, he is lame in both feet. David sent for Mephibosheth. And they brought this man to David. And he is thinking now that David is going to kill him. He's going to wipe out all the living relatives of Saul. Rather, this is what David did. David said to Mephibosheth, young man, you're not going back to Lodibar. You, as of today, you are going to live right here in the king's palace here in Jerusalem. Wow. Are you serious, king? You look on a dead dog like me and you want to elevate me to such status to live in the king's palace? David said, and that's not all. As of today, you will dine at the royal table, not with the servants, not with the people outside. You will dine at my table. You will eat the finest food for the rest of your life. By this time, Mephibosheth must be just beside himself in shock. And David said, and that's not all. I have made it legal that all the land property that your grandfather owned, which the family has lost, will be restored unto you. And I have here in my presence a man who used to work with your father, and he has several children and servants, and I have asked them that they will produce things on your father's farm, and everything that is produced belongs to you. I cannot even begin to imagine what was going through Mephibosheth's mind. Imagine this morning I woke up in Lodibar, in a place of obscurity where nobody recognizes me as the grandson of the first king of Israel, where I am living in poverty, and I get an email message, I get a phone call, I get an invitation to go up to see the king. I have no idea why the king is calling me. And this is what I get. No more Lodibar, no more obscurity, no more living in poverty. I am going to live in the palace. Well, this is some unexpected blessing. This is blessing that I don't deserve, I was not looking for, but it sure makes me feel good. You know what that is called? That is called grace. That is called grace. And grace is God showing us favor, showing us blessings, not because we deserve it, but simply because God is God. Your story might not be as dramatic as Mephibosheth, but my friend, you experience God's grace every day. You experience unexpected blessings all the time. God is looking out for you in ways that you cannot imagine. And so I ask you just to stop. Stop and think about your life. Think about some things that have happened to you that you didn't expect. And recognize that that is God's grace in your life. And give God thanks. Give God thanks for unexpected blessings.